Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced today all K-12 schools across the state will close for the next 6 weeks.
And Idaho today announced the state's first confirmed case of the coronavirus. We'll tell you what part of the state it came from.
It is snowing right now. More is on the way. Continued very cold and windy conditions. Your forecast is next.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Whitney Ward.
Welcome, everyone. I am Mark Hanrahan. We start tonight with a huge announcement from Washington Governor Jay Inslee. He canceled school for all kindergarten through 12th grade students starting Tuesday and running through at least April 24th.
KREM2's Amanda Rowley shares how Spokane Public Schools are now responding and the other executive orders the governor signed today. Amanda?
Yeah, Mark and Whitney, Governor Jay Inslee says Washington State needs a more coordinated approach to addressing COVID-19 because of how integrated the state is. And that is why he is signing several executive orders and shifting away from a county-by-county approach. Governor Jay Inslee is closing school for all kindergarten through 12th grade districts. That goes for public and private Washington schools. This goes into effect Tuesday through April 24th. And the expectation, though, is that school employees will still be working. The second order is restricting all activity at private and public universities and colleges, meaning there will not be any in-person education allowed on campus during the same time frame as K-12 schools. Inslee is also expanding the ban on large gatherings to all of Washington state, not just a few western Washington counties. Restrictions and protocols on visits to nursing homes and assisted living facilities now also include adult family homes. Inslee says concerns about the economic impact of closing schools are valid. He says that is why he did not come to this decision lightly.
Clearly, there is a good reason, many reasons to believe that reducing the contacts of children in a school can reduce the transmission rate. And really good reasons to believe that to make it effective, you've got to be ahead of the whole peak of the epidemic. And really, and also clear that we have educational communities that have shown great creativity in solving these problems.
These are extraordinary times. We have been diligently planning and preparing for the decision that was made today by Governor Inslee.
In response to the statewide school closure, Spokane Public Schools is asking its students to attend school on Monday as a transition day. The district also has plans in place to support educational services, provide some limited childcare to first responders and medical personnel in line with Inslee's direction, and free meal distribution throughout the community. Superintendent Shelley Redinger says the district is working with state leaders to set up food distribution hubs throughout the community.
But as soon as we can get the meals started, we will start that because we have so many students that rely on breakfast and lunch from our school system. We need to get that in place as soon as possible. So our hope would be, if possible, next week starting some of those meal places to pick up food.
Now, as for childcare, SPS already offers a service called Express Childcare, and that goes in the morning 6:30 to 8:30 and in the evening 3 to 6 for grades K through 6th. In the newsroom, Amanda Rowley, KREM2 News.
Amanda, thank you. And just hours ago, leaders in Idaho announced that state's first confirmed case of coronavirus. It is in a woman in her 50s in the Boise area who has now tested positive for the virus.
But state health officials say she did not have contact or did not contract the virus in Idaho. KREM2's Taylor Botto has been tracking this story tonight. He joins us live in the studio tonight with the latest. Taylor?
Well, yeah, guys, Idaho's governor and some top state health leaders just spoke a couple of hours ago. They said the Ada County woman who tested positive is doing well. She's now isolating at home, and they say risk to the public remains low. Meanwhile, there are no confirmed cases in North Idaho. That's important to note, but local agencies and health leaders continue to take precautions.
Now, this is a fast evolving public health event.
In Idaho, it finally happened. The state is no longer without a coronavirus case. State leaders confirmed this afternoon that a woman in Ada County, which is home to Boise, tested positive for the virus after attending a conference in New York City. After flying home into Boise's airport, officials with the conference she was at notified the woman that 3 other people at the conference tested positive for the coronavirus. The woman then then got tested, and the results came back positive this morning.
But for this particular case, we know that this was brought into our state from a conference that they were joining. It was not something that they acquired locally.
The woman is doing well and is currently in self-isolation. She only showed mild symptoms and didn't need to be hospitalized. State health leaders added that the woman had low-risk exposures with the public when she returned from the conference. They're now investigating who she had contacted in that time.
But we do want to have everyone understand that the risk to the population still remains low. This is someone who traveled into our state.
Okay, but what about North Idaho? The Panhandle Health District confirms that there are no confirmed cases in the 5 northern counties. Kootenai Health has sent 20 coronavirus tests to the state for testing, but all have come back negative. The hospital recently set up this tent outside their ER as a precaution. Panhandle Health says 9 people in North Idaho are being actively monitored for the virus, and several tests are pending. But again, there are no confirmed cases at this time.
So we're just making sure that we're prepared. We're speaking with our community members. We're in constant communication with our schools.
And speaking of schools, the Coeur d'Alene School District last night announced that it too was following suit with other agencies and was limiting gatherings to 250 people or less. Canceled events include a summit at Lake City next week, along with a math competition. Regular classes and meals aren't affected. The district said it was doing this out of an abundance of caution. One parent with 3 kids in the district told us he understood the measures, albeit a letdown for some.
If you're into sports, you're very competitive, and if you have to forfeit a game due to not enough players or the other team doesn't show up, of course, it's a little letdown, but this too shall pass, and it could be made up later on this year, or you just wait till next year.
At last check, the University of Idaho hasn't made a decision yet as to whether it will hold online classes. The university spokesperson says the school was talking with the State Board of Education this afternoon and was expecting to learn more this evening. In the studio, Taylor Vito, KREM2 News.
Taylor, thank you very much. Also new tonight, the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association announced a few hours ago that a worker at the 4A, 3A tournament in Tacoma has now tested positive for the virus. That person started showing signs in March 9th, so health officials say the earliest the person could have been contagious was Saturday the 7th. That's what they say. The WIAA says this is a low-risk situation. We had local teams over in Tacoma for that tournament, including Mount Spokane girls and Central Valley's boys and girls, who all played on Saturday. The Mount Spokane boys team, who lost earlier in the tournament, also showed up to support their girls on Saturday. And obviously a lot of fans were over there as well. Just another thing to keep an eye on.
Also, places of worship, much like any other social gatherings, have not been spared by these cancellations thrown out, of course, by the coronavirus.
Churches here in Spokane are taking steps to protect their members now. KREM2's Brandon Jones explains how long Sunday services will be postponed.
As of this morning, the cathedral and all of the Episcopal churches in the Diocese of Spokane, which is Eastern Washington and North Idaho, are suspending services and gatherings until the end of March.
It's not a move they wanted to do, but they believe it's in the best interest of their members. The Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist has one of the largest congregations in Spokane. So while they enter this hiatus that'll take place over the next few Sundays, they'll substitute in-person worship into service online.
We do have these tools at our disposal to be able to live stream a worship service that'll be different from our Sunday services, but still something that'll invite people to be engaged and to take that time of prayer.
Although Sunday service won't be the same, the church will remain open for individual prayer and have normal office hours throughout the week. As they're forced to practice social distance, they know their role as a church is to help keep the peace in the times like this.
We're going to do the things that we can do to support the community. We're going to continue to be the body gathered in prayer, although dispersed now and not as close together as we used to be.
The church is looking at this break as an opportunity for its members to practice their faith outside of the building. Right now, the suspension will last until the end of the month. After that, they'll play it by ear to see when they can open back up, and they're hoping it's before Easter Sunday on April 12th.
A time like this when we're putting so many things on hold and pressing pause just for a moment, we have that opportunity to reconnect.
From Spokane, Brandon Jones, KREM2 News.
And in the midst of all of this coronavirus news, we are also now dealing with a big blast of winter weather. Some parts of the inland Northwest could already get several inches of snow.
Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry. Tom, aside from the snow, we're also tracking really cold temperatures.
Yeah, bitter cold temperatures and even bitter cold wind chills. Wind chills may drop down below zero. So here we go. Let's get right into it. First, we'll start off with warnings, watches, and advisories. Winter storm warnings shaded in red right there. 3 to 5 inches of snow in the valley locations. Wind gusting to 45 miles an hour. Much more snow expected in those locations above 3,000 feet, meaning the mountains. We actually have a wind advisory through tomorrow morning for winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. That includes Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And we are also under that winter weather advisory shaded in purple. That also applies to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, Lincoln County, Adams County, Grant County. 1 to 3 inches of snow. That advisory in effect until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. So let's run the computer modeling for you, shall we? You see that we've got snow today through tonight. The heaviest amounts of snow will actually be in the overnight hours through tomorrow morning, and it would be blowing snow with those wind gusts to 35 and 45 miles per hour. We continue with the snow through tomorrow, through Saturday, and then by Saturday night it goes away, and that's why we'll experience partly cloudy skies on Sunday. Still very, very cold, but it will be dry. So we take a look at the current radar and we show you that we've got snow falling across most of eastern Washington and northern Idaho. Again, we could get anywhere between 1 and 3 inches of snow here locally in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. And bitter cold, 15 the low. That's not counting the wind chill. It'll get even colder than that. It'll feel colder than that. Dry on Sunday, but cold with a low of 12 and then a daytime high of 37. I'll check your 10-day outlook, which includes a warm-up. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. In the meantime, we're all worried about the roads. That's why we have Casey Decker out in the KREM2 storm tracker to give us a first-hand look. Casey?
Hey Tom, well right now things are not looking too bad out here on the roads. We're on I-90 going westbound right now at about Liberty Lake, Spokane Valley area. I'll go ahead and give you a look outside the front of the mobile storm tracker, and you can see right now the road is pretty wet and it's pretty gusty with a lot of the snow blowing in the wind, but right now nothing really sticking on the roads, and that's not only true on the freeway, that's also true on most of the side streets we've been on. We were on Division not too long ago. Things were flowing pretty smoothly there. Pretty much just your normal evening traffic. Everything else, people are going a little bit slower by maybe a couple miles an hour, but really nothing significant at the moment. Certainly visibility is reduced in the long term, but really mostly right now just wet roads, a little bit of snow, quite a bit of wind though. It's shaking the car every so often. Reporting live in the mobile storm tracker, Casey Decker, KREM2 News.
All right, Casey, thank you very much. Well, people have been stocking up on groceries with both the coronavirus concerns and snow heading our way for the weekend. Shelves simply clearing out.
They are. KREM2's Shayna Waldtower then took a little trip to the grocery store to see what's still on the shelves and what's already gone.
Hey guys, this seems to be like the most high traffic area of the entire store. So right here you can see there's plenty of like face tissues, paper towels, plenty of that. But then right when we get over here to the toilet paper, it is completely empty.
And that's across multiple stores. I went to 3 in the Spokane area today and found some confused faces. Your favorite brands of toilet paper are gone. Actually, all the brands. And walking down to the other end of the store, the water supply is also looking a little low. I spoke with a representative at Target. They said the average shopping cart typically has about $70 worth of items in it. But over this past week, they estimated each cart has had about $150 worth of items. And no, this isn't all toilet paper. Cashiers say people have been stocking up on everything from soups to pasta and canned vegetables. And just in case you were wondering, yeah, the hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes are still gone. Store employees say it could be at least a week before they start to see their supplies increase. In Spokane, Shayna Waldtower, KREM2 News.
I understand the hand sanitizer and the Clorox wipes, but the toilet paper?
No, I don't understand. We also checked Amazon in the newsroom today. Yeah. Also, they're out completely.
I know. Okay.
Amazon.
Here we are.
Oh,
well,
man.
We are hearing all about social distancing as a tactic to try to slow down the spread of the coronavirus. So we'll break down what that really means and what it looks like when we come back.